Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here, and we have a Friday Freakout this morning. You can hear me? Thumbs up, just real quick. Just let me know if you can hear me real quick. Yeah, I found out this week something very interesting about Raptors point guard Emmanuel Quickly. I did not realize that Emmanuel, all right, let me just put it this way. NBA 2K is a very competitive basketball game. There are millions of people that play it around the world. There are a lot of people that play it like a lot and like maybe too much than they should. Like they play it to the level where it's kind of like maybe you should be having a life otherwise. And they just try and grind and build their players up like crazy. Well, there's something interesting about Emmanuel that I did not know until this week that people should know. Raptors fans need to know. Emmanuel Quickly, as good as he is on a real basketball court, playing for the Knicks in past years and now for the Raptors, he is just as good on the video game. He is literally one of the top NBA 2K players. And as an NBA player, he's one of the top NBA players that plays on that game. He is literally a part of a team right now called We the North that wears all Raptor stuff that is number 5 on the video game in the whole entire world. He is playing on a team right now, and he is one of the most important players on it. He's not on there just to be on it, to have the allure or oh, there's an NBA player on our 2K team. No, that's not. He actually is really competitive and helps them a lot. In fact, I've seen a game that he played last week for them, and he had like 20 points and 22 assists on the video game. I didn't know this about him, but he is serious, and this isn't new. From Kentucky Wildcat days, Manuel's been participating in Twitch and NBA 2K tournaments, big time ones where the top players of the game play, and he has been a winner all this time. Like, he is seriously good. Like, I've watched Dennis Schroeder, I've watched Terrence Ross, I've watched Scotty Barnes play NBA 2K and get pissed off and get frustrated and say, oh, it's broken. Scotty 2 summers ago threw the controller and said, I can't play this game anymore. It's stupid. I hate it. It's broken. It's not fun. It's broken. And I've seen just as frustrated Terrence Ross this summer saying, yeah, NBA 2K, it frustrates me because it's kind of hard to like they've done some things to it. It's just not right. It's janky. It's like glitchy. They have these different reasons for why, but Emmanuel, he's really good at it. And in fact, they're going to have a game this weekend on Sunday live on Twitch. And Emmanuel and the We the North crew are going to be playing the East Side Allegations. The East Side Allegations features 2 NBA players playing on their team, including, I believe this is true, I may not be exactly right, Jacob Toppin, the brother of Obi Toppin, who is currently on the New York Knicks, and Mark Williams, center for the Charlotte Hornets, will be playing on this 2K team against Emmanuel on Sunday on Twitch. So if you want some competitiveness around our Raptors in the middle of season when there ain't no NBA playoffs because the finals ain't starting until the 6th, well, we can watch our point guard, our restricted free agent point guard this summer, who's showing very much a strong commitment to Toronto, play for We the North in Toronto jerseys virtually on NBA 2K this weekend against Jacob Toppin and Mark Williams's 2K team. That's amazing to me. I think that's so awesome that Emmanuel is not only talented on the real basketball court, but he's actually very, very talented on the NBA 2K court also. He's a top player on that game. This is very, very true. And I'm being very, very serious. And I don't think enough Raptors fans are actually understanding this about him. We've seen Emmanuel recently at his church playing the drums live on Instagram. This kid is talented. He's got talents all over the place. He's got a good head on his shoulders and a strong faith in Jesus and God. And man, this kid can do anything. How talented he is. He can play basketball in the real world and in the virtual NBA 2K world also. That's awesome. I think it's so cool. Emmanuel Quickly is really, really, really Such a cool dude. He is just cool. And I really do love that there's no pretense. There's no weirdness right now about the mystery about his summer this right now. He's a restricted free agent. In some ways, he's not on the books for us next year yet, but he's not making it weird. He's not like being aloof. He's not like kind of like, oh, you don't know what I'm going to do kind of thing. A lot of people would do that if they're players and they're in his situation and they want to keep all their options open. They may not be so openly. Yeah, I really like Toronto, and it's evident that I'm probably coming back because I'm wearing Toronto stuff. I'm coming to Toronto to work out in the off season with Scotty and everybody. I'm playing on an NBA2k team that's wearing throwback white pinstripe dinosaur Raptor jerseys. I mean, what is not to like if you're a Raptors fan? So I highly recommend everybody checking out Emmanuel's game this weekend on Sunday on Twitch. And let's watch him and support him virtually as he plays on the video game. And I hope he kicks Mark Williams and Toppin's ass. It's so cool. Like, I didn't realize how good he was. And his team, seriously, they have a webpage on Instagram. And they're We the North 2K. And they don't have very many followers at all. And they are the number 5 ranked NBA 2K Pro-Am team in the world right now. That's serious stuff. There's so many people that play that game. If you want to see their page, I just put it in the chat, Instagram profile for their team. And that is the real Emmanuel Quickly. And he plays a character that looks like himself on the team. So it's really, really cool in all kinds of ways. All right, let me check in with the chat. Just wanted to go on my spiel about Emmanuel and the 2K connection and how impressed I am. Because, there's all these NBA guys play 2K. A lot of them play 2K. They love to play themselves. They want to play and mess around with it. But a lot of them are not serious enough or good enough at it like Emmanuel is. And that's the thing. It could be that Emmanuel pays somebody to build his character while he's busy in his real life NBA career. And he has a farmer or somebody who builds up his stats for him, but he can still come in and play that character when he wants to. So that may be probable because I don't want him just grinding on NBA 2K for 20 hours a day, like 5-6 days a week. That's no good. He needs to be in the gym. And when we get the Instagram stories, you'll see he is. Good morning to Trevor J. Commissioner Trevor J is here. Good morning, Raptors. It's Friday, dear God. Thank you for taking us to the end of another hectic week. Lord, if you brought us this far, I know you will take us all the way. We are so thankful for it. Yeah. And 5 years ago, we were in the finals. We had won game 1 of the finals last night, 5 years ago. So if you want to check out me with my voice gone after the game 1 of against the Golden State Warriors 5 years ago, check out the community tab on this channel. There's a funny clip of me with no voice and no money and no sleep, and me at work after going to finals game number 1 against the Warriors and yelling my ass off and losing my voice. It's a pretty funny clip. And of course, I'm really ecstatic that we won. And of course, we're talking about how we're going to win the championship, and we did. That's what it says on my hat. NBA champions 2019. And if you want to relive the championship run with old Lex, check out our community tab. It's hilarious. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Trevor's also saying, I'm very grateful to get through this week too. Also, Trevor, I know that you were traveling back from Japan, and well, jet lag is something that's messed up, and I'm still dealing with it to a degree. I'm pretty good right now. I think I'm back to Eastern Standard Time, but I know that you're probably dealing with some jet lag in the last couple of days since you returned from Japan the same day I returned from Estonia. So I'm glad we're both back safely, Trevor, and I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for you, my guy, Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. And he's saying Kyrie and Luka are the first players in NBA postseason with 4 30-point games in 50 years. That's pretty impressive, actually. Back in the day when the league wasn't so big and there were less teams, you could have more consolidated teams like the Celtics in the 60s. And they had guys that would score 30 points, like 2 guys scoring 30 points in games all the time. And that's why that record was more common back then. But in the time since, this has not happened very much. It's very interesting. If Luka and Kyrie can win the championship against the Celtics, they may go on a list very much with Kawhi and Pascal, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen as two dynamic duos, a dynamic duo that scores a lot of points. And Luka and Kyrie are definitely moving up that list if they are able to win the championship with the Mavericks. So I'm rooting for them. You go, Mavs. Of course, game one of the finals will not be till June the 6th. So there's a little bit of a break before we continue the postseason play. All right, Trevor's here. So let's do the classic card of the day. I'm going to get an old basketball card out of this box. And Commissioner Trevor J sent this to me in the mail and his commission fund for this channel. And we guess who's on the card, and whoever gets it gets 100 points added to the Raptor Freak trivia score. Now, the Raptor Freak trivia season will end when the Larry O'Brien is given to the NBA champion. Now, because the NBA finals are not starting till the 6th, that means there's going to be 2 more weeks of trivia, because statistically, or it's not possible for somebody to win in the next before there's 2 weeks gone. So we're going to have 2 more Tuesdays of trivia, just so you all know. And the people are in the top competition at the top probably need to know that. All right, let's see what card I got today. Oh, this is fun. They've been a little bit more well-known players recently, and I like that. The classic card of the day has been difficult at times lately, but we're going to make sure it's easy today. So here we go. First one to write it in. Don't half-ass me. Write the full name. Give me their full name. Don't just write the last name. And tell me who this classic card of the day is right here. This may be too easy. This may be one of the easiest ones we've ever had. Everybody should know who this guy is. If you don't, well, we got to get you on the NBA TV channel. Isaac's saying Tom Chambers. He's wrong. Amit got it. It's Dan Marley. He spelled the name wrong. Isaac spelled it right, but I'm going to give it to Amit anyway. Amit got it. It's Dan Marley. It's Majerly. But Amit got it clean. Tom Chambers was a good guess, Isaac. But that is definitely the Thunderwear seller, Dan Thunder Marley. Dan Thunder Marley. Yeah, not Steve Nash, Nako. That is not Tom Chambers, Kareem. That is Thunder Marley. Dan Thunder Marley. That's right. That man could dunk, and he was called Dan Thunder Marley, and he actually made it into a product endorsement called Thunderwear, where he made his own underwear for a while and called it Thunderwear. You can buy Thunderwear from Dan Marley back in the day. Yeah, Thunderwear. All right, let's see what else is going on and see what you. Oh, Fiercely saying, I think Amit uses Google Face recognition. No, Amit actually explained it to me. He really is a big student of the NBA. And I get it, because when I was a kid, his age, I was really into the NBA also. And I studied the old eras. I studied the 60s and the 50s when I was young. And I really did know a lot about the NBA at every era. So I think this is Amit's similar like me, that he's just gone way back and he's looked at a lot of old players and he's familiar with them. Now, Dan Marley's a very well-known player, and he's somebody that most NBA fans should know who he is. But he is kind of a mid-level kind of player. He wasn't a superstar. But I mean, I know Amit has done a lot of research himself and learned his knowledge up. So that's part of it right there. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying this morning. We got Bryce Lawson in the house. The Tucky is in the house, just like Emmanuel Quickly. Is it from the Tucky? Yeah, we got Bryce here holding it down from the Tucky. Of course, the Tucky is just a powerhouse in the basketball world with so many great players coming from there all the time. And Reed Shepard is the next big name in the draft coming up from the Tucky. And we love Bryce Lawson holding it down in the Tucky for the Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, sir, also. That's right. Dana's here also. Good morning, everyone. Canadian Dana has got the Vince Carter Raptor logo in full effect. I love to see it. I'm a super fan. Monique Lawrence is here. And she's saying that, good morning, Raptor Freak family. NBA2k IQ looks great. Yeah. Yeah, they got a good vision of his face and his persona, his likeness. Yeah, I agree. I like posting these 2K portraits of these players sometimes. I did one of Gary past, Scotty's has been a picture of the stream, and now Emmanuel for today. Of course, this is the thing. Emmanuel's on a whole other level than any of these other NBA guys playing this game. I'm telling you, we go watch him on Sunday. Hopefully, you guys are free and able to do it. And let's see him play. I want to see how good he is because I haven't actually watched him live on Twitch yet. But he has a big matchup and he wants people to watch it. In fact, let's go look at the Instagram stories real quick. First, we got Lloyd. What about Lloyd? Scott's best friend, traveling in Japan still. He's got an interesting breakfast crate. It looks like a macaroon or something with some powdered sugar on it. Looks pretty good. He's in Japan, remember, guys, and he's in the Matrix. It looks like he's in the Matrix. I don't know what that is, Lloyd, or what you were doing, but it looks like you're in the Matrix on one of your stories. And there's a nice skyline in Japan. So Lloyd is living it up in Japan. And meanwhile, Scotty, oh my gosh, Scotty loves China, guys. He absolutely loves China. This is the cool thing about Scott. Scott is not a xenophobe. Scott is not some weird American kid who's like, everything that's foreign is scary to me. He loves everything foreign. He loves things that are different. He loves experience and going to new places. And he is just eating it up. He's in Wuhan, y'all. This is actually kind of where the coronavirus was starting out and stuff like that. But he's over there right now. He's taking tons of pictures. They're beautiful pictures, pictures of ponds and old Chinese men fishing on the side of it, some temples and tourists hanging around. We see Scotty taking pictures from up high and down, looking down on very beautiful Chinese temples, very beautiful tapestry that he sees. Just really cool pictures Scott's taking. He's got quite a few, and he just took them and posted them 2 hours ago. So he's on different time once again because he's in China, and he's just all over China doing the touristy thing. There's one picture of him. Well, there's one. He has some characters on a wall, and he's written "spectacular" across it. So he's really enjoying the sights and being a full-on tourist. There he is. You can actually see him in one clip. He's got a yellow backpack, and he's wearing some Nikes. And he says the Yellow Crane Tower. And you could see Scott's just a very, it's got to be cool to him to be like, come from where he came from as a kid to get to this point to be able to travel the world and be an NBA superstar like this. It's got to be like, in some ways, he can appreciate it. I know he can because he understands just the difference in life. Because as he put it, he got it out of the mud. And he's gotten it out of the mud to the point where he's in China as a tourist and living the best life he can. I love that, man. I love that so much. Scott is such a world traveler, and you can tell he's absolutely in his element when he's in places like this. Seriously. And that's probably why he loves being in Toronto. Now, we do see Scott taking shots in China, which is great. And his form looks awesome. He's got a really nice release. He's not making them totally clean through the rim, but they're going in. And I just love to see he's working. And obviously the hands healed up a lot better because he's shooting quite well. He's just getting shots up there. And he did a little camp again with some players. He's actually playing a scrimmage with Chinese players, and he throws it down on them. And the whole gym goes crazy. Scott throws it down. And all the Chinese people are just like going crazy because Scott is like an NBA superstar and he's playing in front of them. There's a big alley-oop. And everybody goes crazy. And Scott's feeling love. He's got all these Chinese campers around him, and he's like running around the middle of them. He's jumping, he's smiling, he's happy. And he decides that he wants to try and crowd surf. Scotty, you're like 6'9" and you weigh like 270 pounds. You're going to try and jump on a bunch of Chinese people? They're not going to be able to catch you, man. I love it. Scott's so funny. It's like he's trying to crowd surf on Chinese people over there, and they did not catch him. Let's just put it that way. They did not catch him. They dropped him. Just don't get hurt trying to do that, Scott. Oh, man, but he is living his best life. I'm so happy for Scott. In some ways, this is the kind of break and time away from everything over here in North America that he needs to recharge, refresh, get a new perspective, and come back and just be ready to battle for the Raptors on the court coming up this season. And man, Scott, I can tell you're making big fans and big ripples in China. Like if your goal is to go over there and make China fall in love with you, that's what you're doing, bro. That's what you're doing. And I know that this is going to be great for you financially in the future. I know that when NBA players can get a foothold in the Chinese market as a popular star like Kobe or James Harden or Stephon Marbury, it's made big things for them. So I know this is exactly why Scotty's there. And honestly, he is a global superstar. And this is he's perfect for this. He's perfect for this. And it shows in his Instagram stories. All right, there's Emmanuel's Instagram with the date for the Twitch matchup that I'm talking about. We the North versus East Side Allegations is coming up in 3 days when he posted this. This is actually going to be on Sunday on Twitch live. So if you want to see Emmanuel quickly play 2K against Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets and Jacob Toppin of the New York Knicks, you can see it on Sunday live. NBA 2K battling Pro-Am with Emmanuel quickly wearing the Raptors red and black. That's right. Thad Young always putting on blast his son and his up-and-coming career. Precious Achua has got an interesting clip of some lady who's like drinking and coming through the city. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what he's promoting here, Precious. It's a Holy Toledo photo is what it's called. I don't know what it is. Oh, and he loves Sour Patch Kids is what Precious's message is here. He says, still undefeated as a snack. Sour Patch Kids, y'all. I think I can get behind that. Sour Patch Kids are good candy. They're tangy and they're sugary. And Precious is still a big fan of them. Very, very big fan of them. Yeah, top 6 in the world. We the North 2K. That's right, baby. Christian Coloco is in Cameroon, and he's celebrating a birthday of a family member. I'm not sure whose birthday it is. It looks like a sister or a cousin. So yeah, happy birthday to Christian's family member. Slim Duck has got a cool picture of him with the Raptors crowd in his Raptors jersey. You know, Chris is in a dubious spot. I watched this Raptors digest or Raptors report clip on who's likely to get traded. Y'all posted it in the Raptors Facebook chat on our chat that we share stuff on. I watched it and it annoyed the hell out of me because I was like, why are you making this content most likely to get traded this year? Nobody needs this content. First of all, yeah, it's likely Bruce Brown's going to get traded. But why do you need to put in there that maybe Chris will or Grady or something like that? That doesn't make no sense. Anyway, I'm not into this speculating the probability of how often or how much somebody may get traded from the team. And I don't really appreciate Raptors Report for making content like that. It's stupid. Why even make that premise? I would never make that premise on this channel. Like, who is most likely to get traded from the Raptors this summer? Is it constructive? Is it positive? Is it a good idea to make a content like that? No, it's not. So why are you doing that, Raptors Report? You are really good. Honestly, you do a really good job with your channel. But I don't understand why you'd make that. Seriously, you could do so many other things. Do research on other stuff. You don't need to make a tier list of who's most likely to get traded from the Raptors this summer. We all know who's most likely to get traded from this team. We don't need you to spell it out, my guy. All right, let's keep going. McCurr has got something from Power 1047. I don't even know what they're talking about. I should turn it up. It's Nipsey Hussle, I think he got put on there. Mr. New York City is got on a whiteboard saying every next level of our lives demands. Hang on, it changed. Demands a new version of us. In order for us to go up, we need to give up something. And he's saying real spill, 100%. Marquise Noel saying you got to give up something to get somewhere. Sacrifice is how you get there, is what he's saying. Also, he's got Ron Shade on blast, the vice president of Octagon. Black excellence, congrats, bro, is what he's saying to Ron Shade. Let's see. If you think you're an NBA player, listen to this. And it's his old coach from Kansas State talking about you said you wanted to be the one. Coach Tang giving some words of advice on Marquise's Instagram stories. You're not just going to win. You will dominate. Put the work in and keep your trust and faith in God. That's what Marquise is saying right now. Yeah. There's a grand opening in Atlanta, June the 1st. And I think that Marquise has been in Miami because he's at University of Miami on their court working out in the last day or so. So, yeah, there's Marquise. God is exposing who you should cut ties with. Pay attention. That's what he's advising right now. Now, Matt Devlin has posted on his Instagram stories that they are auctioning off the shoes that Darko wore in the Autism Awareness Month that had the really cool rainbow design on the side of it. He's not the only coach in the NBA that did this. Rick Carlisle is another one. There were a couple of NBA coaches that wore these autism awareness shoes, and now they're going to be signed and put up for auction to raise money for autism awareness. So, hey, if you have the money, you could get Darko's shoes from that one day, and they're signed. So if you got that money, it's going to a good cause. Go ahead and get them. I'm just saying it's on a Sotheby's auction. So it's a big time auction. So if you can get in there and get that, get those game worn custom Air Force ones that Darko Rajakovic wore this season. There you go. Of course, the Raptors admin has been on fire since the season ended. The Raptors admin has been posting their favorite picks of the year in batches every once in a while, and is keeping enthusiasm and excitement about the Raptors and their new look up in this early postseason, like where we're out already. And I love it. They're doing a good job. I think Raptors admin in the last 4 or 5 months has upgraded themselves, and they've been totally on point. And I appreciate Raptors admin for putting the team out there in a very attractive product and doing all these cool posts of your favorite posts and pictures of the year. They've been absolutely fantastic, and I look forward to them. I hope you guys do them all the way through the summer. If you could, Raptors official admin, please, please. Now, on their pictures, they've got a picture of a young Oach. And I want to say this right now. Tomorrow is Saturday, and we're going to do the Saturday Share the Love Club for Oshai Abaji. Oshai Abaji just recently got engaged to his girlfriend. And so we want to share the love for the new fiance, Mr. Oshai Abaji, tomorrow. Saturday Share the Love Club, Oshai Abaji. So please tune in for us sharing the love for our new defensive stopper, Oshai. That's right. That's right. Jordan Wara is at the University of Louisville, and he's working out at his alma mater. That's what he's got going on right now. It looks like DeMar DeRozan is going to have guests other than NBA players on his Dinners with DeMar show. It looks like he has somebody on there. I'm not even sure who that is. I don't recognize them, but he's got some other guys he's interviewing, it looks like. They look like they're musicians. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else is going on in the Instagrams. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. There's your Instagram check for today. Scotty is just living life up in Wuhan, China right now. I love it. I love to see Scott so happy. Like he's really happy. I can tell. Like he's genuinely on cloud nine, on top of the world. In some ways, I've been trying to read Scotty's happiness over the last few years of him being on the Raptors. And right now it's at one of the highest points I've ever seen where he is. His energy and his happiness is really high. And I love that for him. We want Scotty to be as happy as possible. Of course. That's right. Thank you, Monique, for bringing up NBA2k IQ. That's right. Ahmed is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Hope y'all are doing well. Randolph Phillips is here. A pleasant good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Blessings to you and everyone around. It's a beautiful day. Let's match nature by tapping into and use our better qualities. I like that. I like that. Let's put our best foot forward, like people are saying. Let's, understand our limitations, but understand our strengths. And maybe we play into our strengths today and do something nice for the world, for ourselves or for others. That's what we can do. That's what we need to do. All right, let me check on Leo's life tips since we brought this up. And in fact, this is kind of going along with what Randolph's saying. Is Leo's life tips, once again, he's saying the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. And that's really true. Your habits and what you do with your day make up your life. So if you have habits in your daily routine that are building towards something substantial over time, that's a fantastic thing, because that's a really great way that you can integrate into your daily schedule a long-term goal. Because if you work on something little by little over time, something amazing can be created because you put the time into it. So in some ways, you could look at it as a project, or you could just look at it as your life as a project, and your daily routine and what you do makes your life. So think about it that way, seriously. And think about what Randolph's saying also, to use your daily routine to be helpful to others. And that too. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. And thank you, Randolph. And thank you, Leo Routens, for your life tips. We enjoy hearing what you got to say. Of course, he's saying a fresh coffee to start each day. Have a fantastic Friday. Life tips from Leo. We appreciate you, Leo. You got this. Yeah, I hope he doesn't mind me aggregating his life tips. Maybe putting a little more blast Leo's wisdom from Instagram or from Twitter. There's nothing wrong with that. I add a little bit of fleshing out to it in my own dimension of interpreting Leo's life tips. So I hope he's not mad at me. I'm not trying to steal his thing. I'm putting words to it. Animation. All right, let's keep going. Guys, this is fantastic. Now, I have to admit something right now. I unfollowed Dennis Schroeder yesterday. And it's really because he's on the Nets. He's not on the Raptors. I can't just keep covering all these guys who are former Raptors. And in some ways, Dennis's stuff is not really apropos to us anymore. But there is something I want to talk about today that Dennis did yesterday that's absolutely sensational and amazing, and a testament to the amazing athlete that Dennis Schroeder is. Dennis Schroeder played a professional soccer game yesterday in Germany. That's right, y'all. He put on a soccer jersey and got out on the pitch and ran around and made his official football debut in the German 6th division. He's wearing a jersey and he's out there kicking the ball around with some professional soccer players. And he did not look like he did not belong there. He looked like he belonged out there with those pros. So, wow, Dennis is a real athlete and he's playing professional soccer right now, just so y'all know. But yeah, I in some ways, I love Dennis. I'm always going to love Dennis. I always respect and love him. But in some ways, I can't keep talking about him every single day because he isn't on our team anymore. And that's just how it is. Fiercey is here. Good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Fiercey Salsera. Glad the Mavs are done so that they can rest for the Celtics. I wonder if Porzingis will play. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad this is over too. The game last night was a blowout. Luka and the Mavs came out there and just smacked them around and got a 30-point lead in the middle of the game. And the Minnesota was done at that point. You know, Timberwolves fans, congratulations. You guys had a fantastic year. Jordan Bolton's not upset about this. King Bolton, Gary Trent Jr.'s best friend, he's not upset about this. He's really proud of the Timberwolves team, his favorite team, and how well they did this year and how much they accomplished. And he's right. He's exactly right. You know, this team went through turmoil. This team had weird injuries and had weird different things that happened during the season. And then their coach got ran into by their point guard and had to be out because his knee's all messed up now. So they had hardships and they overcame them. And they had a very interesting team this year and they did well. In some ways, they're on the right track, but they still got some work to do if they want to win a Larry. That's for sure. But congratulations to the Minnesota Timberwolves for a great season. And don't hold your head because y'all should be proud. Seriously. Jordan Bolton's proud of y'all. Yeah, looking at the box score from last night, you know, they did blow them out. They really messed them up. They were they were really kind of toying with them like a cat would toy with a mouse. And Kyrie and Luka were fantastic. 36 each for both of them. Luka with a 10 rebound game and 5 assists also. I'm telling you, Luka Doncic winning the Magic Johnson Western Conference Finals MVP award is apropos. Although Kyrie could have been in the running for that because Kyrie's been very good also. I'm really excited about this finals in some ways because I really, really, really hope the Mavericks can do something crazy and beat the Celtics and humiliate them once again. This is the thing. If Jalen and Jason keep getting to the finals and they can't win it, this is going to get in their heads, y'all. And Luka is the perfect guy to mess them up. What has he done this postseason? He's been coming and talking to people and saying, hey, I'm going to mess you up. Like, I love how in the last round, they took the picture of Kermit and Bo Cruz from that movie with Anthony Edwards and Juancho, and they replaced it with, Luka talking into the ear of Anthony Edwards instead of Anthony Edwards talking in the ear of Juancho Hernangomez. I thought that was so apropos. And really, Luka has been doing this. He's been killing people every round. The person that is his person against him on the other side, he has been basically, taking that matchup and trying to dominate them. So Luka Doncic, is this your year to be the Finals MVP? Go get it. That's what I'm hoping right there. You go get it, sir, because I'm all about it. And don't hold your head, Minnesota. Y'all had a fantastic year, seriously. As I said, game 1 won't be till June the 6th. So it's weird. There's still a lot of time. And in some ways, if it goes to 7 games, well, we may have 3 more trivia games. We're going to have at least 2 now. So let's see. What else did I want to talk about today? Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. I wonder if Porzingis will play. Yeah, I wonder if that too. That's funny because Porzingis' former team is the Mavericks. And Kyrie's former team is the Celtics. So there is some connections with these two teams that are about to face off with each other. Once again, also, Porzingis versus Gafford is a big matchup if Porzingis does come back. I think it'd be hilarious if the Celtics got really far and if they won without even using Porzingis. I would laugh about that because in some ways Porzingis was probably going to hurt them if he actually had played. They might have lost more than they've won. Let's see. Okay. So he fiercely thought that Amit was cheating using Google face recognition. There's no way you can do it that fast. And this card doesn't have a really good like side of his face. It's kind of the side of it. He's saying, nah, fiercely, NBA2k is my source. So he seen Dan Marley on the video game. That's probably maybe where he saw him. He has a card on there, I think. Fiercely saying, ain't no way. Tom Duke is here. Laugh out loud. And happy Friday to you, Tommy. Kareem saying, Amit cracked the code. I think he just really is a huge NBA fan, and he wants to learn the whole history. So it's really, really, really interesting. So let's see. Trevor's saying the former NBA player and brother of Aaron Gordon died in a car accident. Yeah, I heard this news this morning that Drew Gordon, brother of Aaron Gordon, has passed away tragically in a car accident. This is sad. This is a guy who actually did play in the NBA for a little bit. He wasn't in the NBA for very long. But it is always sad when somebody dies tragically in an accident or some kind of something like that. Yeah, this is really, really sad. Really, really sad. Fiercely saying, I don't do 2K. I'm too old. Yeah, the best way to learn players is either by getting history almanacs or like getting basketball cards. That's the way I always learned them was from these. That's part of how Isaac does well at this is because he had a lot of these cards from the classic cards from back in the day. This card came out in the 90s, and it could very well be that Isaac Campbell's got this card sitting in a box somewhere. That's what I'm saying. So there's different ways to be good at the classic card of the day. And Isaac's is that he's familiar with old card sets. Amit's is that he plays the 2K. So you can have different ways to study. And now, Fiercey, your way of doing it is I know that you Google the team and the number to find out the names, and then you put in the names. I know that's your strategy. Tom's saying, I've never been into video games, and I think it's a waste of time. It's weird. Listen, Tom, I get what you're saying that, but I will tell you this right now. There is actually very good benefits to video games. Video games are good for hand-eye coordination. They're also really, really good for problem solving. You can get certain kinds of video games that absolutely help your brain and your brain health. I encourage my mother to play video games to right now because in some ways it keeps her mind active and she utilizes parts of her brain and exercises them. So there are benefits to video games. They're not a complete waste of time. And that's really we're programmed since we were younger to say, oh, you shouldn't be in here playing Nintendo all day, Tom. Get out there and do something. In some ways, that's part of the reason why we have it against it. Now, people said things about TV way back in the day. TV's bad for you. TV's bad for you. In some ways, they may be right. But also, TV educates. TV has broadcast to the world, and people are more informed. So there's a duality to everything. And I would say this. In some ways, Scotty and Emmanuel playing 2K, it helps them on the real court because it gets them in situations simulated that they can actually kind of think about what they would do in that situation if that happened. Now, when we watched Scott play Twitch and he was like kind of all over the place, we didn't see him really doing that kind of stuff. But think about a flight simulator. Think about somebody who's learning how to fly a plane. Well, before you put them on a real plane that they could crash, we'll put them in a simulator and that's a video game in itself. So there are benefits to video games. And honestly, I love that Emmanuel's a really good NBA 2K player because in some ways, he probably uses some of that knowledge from playing the 2K on the real court for the Raptors. And we know the kind of player he is. It's very, very interesting to think about how that interacts mentally and how that transfers from virtual to reality. Seriously, think about how he stacks his head and his thinking and how he strategizes for 2K. And maybe he's able to apply it in real life in his real body. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know, Tommy, we watched Scotty play a lot of video games, though. So you were in there with us. Ahmed saying, Fiercey, 275 points to go. Good luck in the next 2 weeks. Listen, he does want it bad. But, Fiercey, don't sell yourself short. You've been a very tough competitor this whole time too, and you need to put in that good fight right till the end too. Seriously, it'll be close. And even though Ahmed's trying really, really hard, I believe in you also, Fiercey. I believe in you. Bryce is saying 2K definitely helps. It's how I know a majority of the OGs. Yeah, younger. This is a great thing about 2K is that younger people that don't know the older players that played in this league, like Dan Marley, are learning who they are. So that's a good thing. People aren't forgotten, and young people get exposed to older generations through NBA 2K. So I like that. I like that a lot. That's how Bryce knows the players. Tom's saying, I just sound like a grump there. Sorry. To each their own. Tommy, you're all good, man. I know you ain't got no time for childish games, and that's fine, Tommy. That's fine. I just wanted to counterbalance saying there are actually positives to video games. In fact, I believe because I played video games early in life, like Super Mario Brothers and Nintendo and Legend of Zelda, I feel like I have really good eye coordination as an adult. That in some ways it can really help you as far as having reflexes and kind of things. So don't sell it short. There's actually real benefits to video games, and they never wanted you to say people to say that or have that. In some ways, video games are a portal to imagination that are very interesting. They're also inspire. Like I used to play on a SOCOM team. SOCOM was a U.S. Navy SEALs shoot 'em up first person shooter game where you could connect on PlayStation 2 through headsets and talk to people across the world. It was one of the first internet shoot 'em up games like Counter-Strike. And we would go on there and it was amazing. Like the amount of hand-eye coordination and teamwork and things that it was so fun. I'm telling you, there's hidden benefits to things that you'd be shocked as far as with video games and things like that. So let's see. Ahmed saying Tuesday is going to be so fun and competitive between me and Fiercey. I'm so excited. And Fiercey saying, Ahmed, I think you will win. You're more driven. Well, we'll have to see. We will have to see what happens. There's no guarantees of anything. It's just you guys bring your top games and come in there and play. That's what I'm saying. Everybody come in there and play, regardless of who. Fiercely saying, Tom, I feel you. She's not about the video games either. And G saying, me too, Tom, but love that IQ's handle is We the North, and he's dedicated to basketball in all ways. Well, it's not that his handle's We the North. The team he's on is We the North. He's still Emmanuel Quickly as his handle, but the team he's on is called We the North. And I think he just joined them recently because a couple of weeks ago he said on his Instagram, I need a new team. And well, they found him, and he's very high level, and they're very high level. So it's a perfect match. So I love it. I love it. They're number 5 in the world right now. It's actually really crazy. Fiercely saying, Oshai shared beautiful pics. Yeah, the pictures of him and his fiance are beautiful. Of course, they were in Europe. I think they were in like Greece or something when he proposed to her. Yeah, we'll talk more about Oshai and his recent news tomorrow on the Saturday Share the Love Club. Sharing the love for Oshai Abaji, Kansas Jayhawk, and Toronto Raptor, and a future star for the Raptors coming up. I know he is. Monique saying, Dylan Brooks' thoughts on Team Canada are in the Facebook chat. Okay, let me go look what you're saying, Monique. No. Dylan Brooks' his thoughts are in the Facebook chat. Where is that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see it, Mo. Sorry. Oh, wait, this part. Okay, she's saying, missed this from earlier in May when Dylan Brooks went to watch a EuroLeague game. He was asked about Canada at the Olympics, and he replied, we all think the same goal. It's to win the gold. Add in a couple of players and, do the thing again. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we're not going there to not compete and do as best as we can. And, of course, Dylan Brooks wants to win the gold. RJ Bear wants to win the gold. We all want to win the gold. All Canada wants to win the gold. So I'm not surprised he said that. That's not very controversial, honestly. It's kind of the standard. Everybody's going to want to win the gold. Now, I still stand by what I said yesterday. I think Serbia is going to win the gold, and Canada and U.S. will get the other 2 medals somehow, some way. We'll see how it all works out in the end. Tommy is saying 100% G. IQ sure doesn't waste his time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to tell these guys how to live their lives. We made a big deal about Scotty wasting his time after his rookie year with us on Twitch, and he felt very sensitive to that.
Some people try to write articles like Doug Smith saying Scotty wasted his time playing video games all summer. And that probably hurt his feelings. And well, maybe it kicked him in the butt the next year in the summer to really work on his game at hard. And boom, he came back as one of the most improved players in the NBA last year. So I don't know. In some ways, look, I want everybody to just live their lives and stop judging people for how they want to spend their off time. If IQ wants to play video games, let him. It's not going to hurt him. So I just say, like, these dudes give so much of their year to the NBA and run around all over the country playing NBA games. When they're in the offseason, let them do what they want to do. Seriously. As long as they're keeping up with their conditioning and they're working on skill building over the summer and workouts in certain ways, I don't care what they do for the rest of their time. They should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. They really, really should. Trevor's saying, we don't talk much about DJ Carton. This is true. You're exactly right, Trevor. We have not brought up DJ Carton enough because he was here for a hot cup of coffee and then he got hurt. But he is still involved in the mix. We keep talking about we need a backup point guard for next year. Well, what if DJ Carton shows up healthy and he's actually a good answer for that? That could be true. We keep forgetting about him. You're exactly right. We remember people like Javon Freeman-Liberty and Marquise Noel more often than we remember DJ Carton. But DJ Carton should be still in the mix. And I'm glad you brought him up, Trevor. I'm going to give you a dunk for that. Because honestly, you're right. DJ Carton showed some real promise in the little bit of time he played for the Raptors before he got hurt. And he looked very consistent and good in certain ways. So we're going to give you a dunk, Trevor J, for mentioning DJ Carton. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You're exactly right. You've got the Coloco 35, my guy. Coloco 35. Let's see. Monique's saying, Trevor, if DJ Carton was healthy, we would talk about him more. Well, it's just we forgot about him, Monique. We should talk about him because he is a real option for us next year. And he is still a part of our team because we kept the two-way on him even after he was hurt. So we've shown that we value him and that he is still in the fold somewhere, somehow, DJ Carton. I'll bet you he is. I could see him being at Summer League and playing on our Summer League team. Fiercely saying at Monique, I will go look. I like Dylan on our team. Yeah, Dylan's awesome. He's a great part of our Team Canada team. He really does bring a certain thing to it that we need. Fiercely saying also, I knew Luka would go off yesterday. He loves sticking it to the opposing teams on their court. Humility lesson for Ant-Man. Kyrie exhausted him at times. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Good job, Mavericks. I'm actually really shocked they got this far and they're in the finals. If you had told me that the Dallas Mavericks were going to be the team from the West in the finals right now, I would have said you're crazy because I really didn't think that team was going to work with Kyrie and Luka as the two top guys on it. I just felt like there wasn't enough in other positions. Well, they did a masterclass at the trade deadline this year, and that's really why they are where they are. They absolutely essentially needed Gafford and PJ Washington to be in the finals right now. So good job, Mavericks front office, in making moves during the season. I think getting rid of Grant Williams was a huge plus too. Like getting Grant Williams the hell away from the team actually helped the Mavericks a lot. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. Grant Williams was on the two teams that were in the finals right now, and now he's on the Hornets. Where have you gone to, Batman? That's pretty funny to me because I've never liked you, Grant Williams. And I like the fact that this has happened to you in the last year. Yeah, I like your misfortune. It's hilarious to me. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that the Mavs are the Western Conference representative in the finals. I would never have picked that. Seriously, I would have said Thunder, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Warriors, maybe even before them. All those teams should have been in the finals before them. But man, they're there. They're there. And it's maybe Luka's time. Maybe it's time for the NBA to put Luka Doncic as a full-fledged NBA champion golden boy. And I could see that. It's either going to be him or Jason Tatum. It's going to become some sort of NBA champion golden boy now between those two teams. One of them's going to get it finally. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Fiercely saying, yes, Lex, Google is fire, but I also look up rosters and the approximate period when you give clues. See, that's awesome. And that's just, Fiercely's a very good researcher on the fly. And I have no problem with that. In some ways, the trivia is a scavenger hunt. And it's very hard to do. And the classic card is not easy sometimes too. So y'all doing it and being like you are and how you do it is very impressive to me. And I know some of y'all pre-research stuff so that you're kind of ahead before the trivia even starts. And that's why I try not to let y'all know who the trivia is going to be on ahead of time. So yeah, whatever you tricks y'all are doing, I don't mind it. I will just ask if it's a number question, let's do the high and low and just try and do an educated opinion on it instead of like just going and finding the specific number and just putting it in as the first answer. That kind of irks me, that part. But otherwise, I don't mind if you guys are, having to look up the answers and get them real quick. That's just, in some ways, it's a good life skill to build in this world at this point. With the internet at your fingertips, you can learn anything in any second, at any moment. And Fiercey being quick to look up stuff, well, that might be a very good life skill for her to have over the years. Trust me. Kareem saying, my son was a huge soccer fan growing up. I hate soccer for the most part, but the benefits of video games and soccer is that my son literally knows every flag in the world. There you go. It's not even the video games or the soccer, the athleticism or the hand-eye coordination. It's the identification of geography. I think that's awesome. So he knows all the flags of the world because he knows the countries and the teams that are playing on the soccer teams. That's awesome. Hey, education's great, whatever way you get it. The thing about education is the inquisitive mind, the curiosity of the human brain. And well, some things are boring, some things are interesting. And even the things that seem like worthless to do or pointless in time, you actually can find a portal to good information and learning things. And that's the crazy thing. You could play a video game like Fallout or something and run around in like old American ruins and all of a sudden be more interested in American history because of that. Does that make sense? It's stuff like that. So the soccer and video games were a gateway for Kareem's son to learn the flags of the world. That's the fantastic thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Tom saying, haha, I said video games waste time on a Raptors YouTube stream I attend daily. Good point about me watching Scotty on Twitch for days. Tommy, I love you. And you know me, I'm just going to be kind of like, I feel like there's been such a tarnishment of video games being toxic or bad for people. And I don't think that's true. I think that they're actually therapeutic. I think that they're actually very helpful for people in all kinds of beneficial ways that we don't even understand. It's just that the old guard would be like, yeah, MTV, TV, video games. This is a waste of time. And it's kind of like the older generations. In some ways, it's like, no, actually, I could see where video games have actually benefited young people and actually helped educate them and broaden their horizons in certain ways. I don't know. Either way, you in some ways, yeah, you did sound like an old grump, but there is a generation that very much believes what you believe. And we're a part of that generation at our age in some ways, but also we are the generation that had Atari and Nintendo. So we're a little bit in there too. Tommy, you're awesome. I love you, man. My West Coast president, Tommy Dookie, holding it down on the West Coast in Victoria, British Columbia. That's right. Fiercely saying it. Tom, watching or listening to streams is easier on your schedule rather than actually playing. I listen to Raptor Freak stream while working at times. Same for Twitch. Well, it's good to have something in the background, a little interactive Raptors radio show in the morning. That's basically what we are here. Is our little interactive Raptors content radio show, keeping up on stuff, talking about Scotty and Wuhan, talking about Emmanuel and his 2K exploits. That's what we do here. I love it. And I don't mind you guys watching me or listening to me vicariously as you're at work or driving a forklift. Tom saying, yeah, I know. I just tend to criticize myself often. I'm my biggest fan too. This is awesome, Tom. You need both. Yeah, you got to be there for yourself. I always tell people, listen to your inner voice. Is your inner voice nice to you? Well, that's good. If your inner voice is a bully or mean to you or telling you that you're no good, you need to change it because it's not serving you right. Your inner voice needs to be your best friend. And it's not being cocky. And it's not being kind of a thing that is like, oh, your inner voice just lets you get away with everything. Be fair and be honest with yourself in a good and bad way. But don't allow yourself to beat yourself up unnecessarily when you don't need to. In some ways, you make mistakes. We're all human. But we also need to allow ourselves to be human and forgive ourselves. And that's why I would say that, I can be such a critic of myself too. But I learned very much over my life how to be nicer to myself and give myself a break because we are all human and we're not perfect. We are not perfect. We're damn for sure not perfect. Nobody is. Nobody in this world is perfect. Even the most seems like perfect person is not. Trust me. All right, let's see. Tommy. High five and Tommy. I love it to see the interaction between you guys. And Tom saying right back at you. And Full Ass is saying Q. And Trevor's saying, when I see IQ play drums, because I can play keyboards and drums too. I love that he did it. He has talent too. Like they were calling him Quick Love, or Quickly Love, like Quest Love. Instead, he was Quick Love. And he was like, he looked a little bit like Questlove on the drums. And he was like, and he's not like one of these guys who can just do a fill. Like there's some people that say they can do drums, but they really just know one fill and they can keep one beat. But they don't really know how to play drums. They just know how to do one part. No, he could do all kinds of stuff. In fact, when he was playing the drums for the church sermon, he was playing off of the person doing the sermon. And when they would start saying like a really important crescendo to their like speech, he would start hitting the cymbals like shh, like accenting her sermon. It was hilarious. It was awesome. It was amazing. And that's kind of what a church drummer should do if they're going to play the drums while the priest or the bishop or whoever's speaking is speaking. They can't be playing over them like do 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 do. It's not a Pink Floyd song. Come on now. So it's like he's playing little crescendos and little adding to the ambiance of the sermon. You know, like she's like saying, "Hey Lord," and all this stuff, and he's like, "Shh," you know, and he's like, "Do do 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 do." He has to play off her, and that takes talent. That takes a lot of talent. Let's see what else you guys are saying. David's here. Good to see David Saborin. David, you're gonna have to come out here. This place is crazy, David. I'll see you at Monique's birthday party, hopefully. And we were going to talk about you coming out to visit the property out here because I do need to get you to come out here. Seriously. Now that I'm done with my vacation, I've moved out of the old apartment. I went down there yesterday and got all the last bit of my furniture, and I gave the keys to my old landlord. And I do not have to pay that man rent no more. And I'm so happy about that. I am so happy about that. So that door is closed. I am not in the old apartment anymore, officially at any kind of way that where this channel was created. And in some ways that's sad. You'll never see those walls that I sat in originally for this channel in the first 3 years ever again. It's going to be a totally different look when the new studio is finished, and I'm going to be in there. You'll see it. Right now, this is the temporary wall. This is the temporary wall, but there will be a new studio for my show, and it's being built currently right now. My dad's literally out there working on it right now, and I'll go out there and help him some today too. So very busy, and we're looking forward to having you out here, David. Top 10 isn't very good. Who's the best? What are you talking about? Top 10 in the world, David. Top 10 in the world at NBA2k, playing NBA2k, and that means every single kid out there at home playing on their PlayStation, on their Xbox, on their computer. Every single one of them kids, Emmanuel is ranked. So don't you tell me, don't you slight him saying top 10's not that good. Come on, man. What are you talking about, David? David's just like, if you're not number one, Ricky Bobby, you're no good. If you're not Ricky Bobby number one, it's how David's mentality is as a tough, top level bridge competitor in the world of bridge in his life. Yeah, fiercely saying, I want to give kudos to all who participate at the WNBA fantasy. Highly competitive in my case. I try to watch as many games as possible, but they often overlap. Scheduling is weird. That's cool. I'm really glad you're watching a lot of WNBA games, and you're doing fantastic, Fiercey. Like, seriously, I'm really appreciate how you're caring for your team. It really is kind of like an animal. You need to kind of like water it and feed it every day. If you don't take care of it, well, it can go really bad and do really bad. But Fiercey, you're on top of it this year, and you're doing fantastic. In fact, let's do a check-in and see where our scores are at this point in the week. I have a slight lead over Morgan right now. In some ways, I'm really wanting to get my first victory, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I'm going to try and do that. David is winning against James. Fiercey has got a 30-point lead over MK, but MK is a tough competitor. So, Fiercey, you still got to work in the next couple of days to get your victory this week. We see that Country Kong is beating Edmund, and Kareem is beating Cool Cat in the other matchup right now, currently on our WNBA fantasy. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Seymour saying TurboGrafx 6. TurboGrafx 6. There you go. Fiercely saying almost everyone in the 200 points bracket this week. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that. All the teams in the fantasy league are doing pretty well this week. I haven't got as good a team as I wanted from the draft. I realized that I'm 0-2 because I didn't draft well. I did not have a good WNBA draft this year. is what I'm noticing. David's saying fiercely hitting 200 only means you remember to log in and play your players. Dave is very cynical and ornery. It's funny. And Fiercey is laughing and crying and damn. And Fiercey saying, so it's good we actively participate then. Lex wanted that. All good. Most of the teams are very much being tended to correctly. And I'm not going to talk about who isn't running their teams. It's fine. I would say 80% of the teams are being run right now. So that's all that matters. If most of the teams are run, that's fine, David. You need to chill out. This is a better percentage than the NBA Fantasy League last year, for sure. Trevor saying, me and my friends had a band before, so I can play both instruments. I like that, Trevor. In some ways, I would love to get more of the Raptor Freaks together for a jam. You know, we've got Jason Dukes, who is in a band himself. He sings and he plays guitar. We got the bass man, Mischief, who came and brought the bass to the Real Jerk and played it on stage at the karaoke. We could have a pretty good band. I'll sing. I'll get up there and sing. Oh, and we'll do a band. We should do this, Trevor. You could play the drums for us. You could be the drummer, and we could get the bassist to be Mischief, and we'll get Jason Dukes, to be in the band too, playing guitar, and we'll be good. I'm telling you, if anybody else plays instruments, they want to join the band too. That'd be fun. Raptor Freak family band, jam band. We could get that going for a Raptor Freak hangout at some point. I love that. I love that. If we did like a jam and we played a bunch of music, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Yeah, Tom's all about it. He likes it. Fiercely saying, what is boat instrument? Boat instrument. I don't know. He's saying he could play both instruments. It's because Trevor doesn't write his comments in. He reads his comments into the phone and it transcribes them. So he said, I can play both instruments, but it sounded like he said boat instruments. So that's why it says boat instruments. Yeah. I'm not dissing, just never heard that expression. That's why. I just told you why there, Fiercey. It's because he reads his comments in, and sometimes the transcriber changes words on him. I've noticed that about Trevor. Yeah, boat instruments. Yeah, it's kind of a funny mistake. Boat instruments could be anything. You could take paddles and bang them together. I don't know. Maybe you get the boat and you bang on the boat. Like a Chili's baby back ribs, like commercial. Chili's baby back ribs, Chili's baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. And then you hit the boat. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying he can play both the keyboards and the drums. That's what he's saying. Both. He's saying both. Yeah, both. Monique is saying not Raptors related, but Derek Lively's mom passed away in the playoffs. I read. Yeah, I saw this morning too. And I was not aware of this. His mother died in April of cancer. And that's really recent. And he's been on this playoff run with the Mavericks. And it's sad. He's a rookie this year. And at least his mom got to see him play his first rookie year for the most part before she passed away. This is super tragic and sad. And, he's playing for something. Lively's a very lively player. And maybe that's part of the reason why he was playing with so much emotion this season. I remember when he played against the Raptors, he was annoying. This guy was all over the place and being a pest. And well, if he's playing for his mom, well, he's playing for something extra special. I have a feeling the Mavericks might surprise people, especially if somebody like Derek Lively II is playing for his mom, who just recently passed away. I did not know this either. And Monique, thank you for bringing it up. And I'm going to give you a dunk. I'm going to give you a dunk. Now, some of you guys may have noticed that some of you do not have a wrench. And I'm only going to say this, that we've had issues still recently, and I'm not saying it's any one particular person. I took wrenches from 4 people yet last night. We've had problems with people with their comments getting deleted and people getting blocked from the channel by mistake. So I've decided to limit the moderators to just 2 now, Tom and Trevor, because there were pocket deletions. There's been people like Shere Khan got blocked from this channel again. I don't like that. Raptor Freak of the Year, Shere Khan, should not be blocked from this channel. And Trevor and other people have had issues with comments getting deleted by people. And I don't like that. So I'm limiting the amount of moderators we have on the channel for right now, just because mistakes have been happening with the moderation that are leading to bad things happening, like people getting blocked from the channel that are not supposed to be blocked from the channel. So just so y'all know, and that is for Isaac, Seymour, Monique, and G. You 4, I'm sorry. The wrench may go back to you guys at some point, but it's only because I just can't have people getting blocked from this channel when they didn't do anything wrong, y'all. So, and I don't know who did what or anything. I don't care who did it, But I know each one of the four of y'all have done things by mistake at different places, whether it was Seymour on the forklift hitting a button, Isaac hitting something by accident in his pocket, or Monique hitting something by accident, or even G, a child had the phone at one point and started deleting people's comments. So I got to do this. And Tommy is working on the channel inside out, and Trevor is the commissioner. So those are the two designated mods at this point. All right, let's see. Fiercey saying, "Oh, okay, nice, thank you." And Fiercey saying, "Aja Wilson is my kryptonite." Yeah, she's good. She's very, very good for her size. And David saying, "I need to chill out." What the fuck did I do? I don't know, David. You're just feisty, and you're just like number one or not. I'm just saying you need to chill out about Emmanuel being top 10 in the world on the video game. That's really good. Top 10 is good. You're saying it's not good. We love you, David. You're awesome. Jeepers fuckers. All right, that's funny. No Nuggy the Ruggy, so we're good. Tom's laughing. He's got a cookie. Dana's laughing. I love it. David's got the turn thing. His goals number one. That's it. I just show up and get told to chill. Laugh out loud. No, it's only because you said that Emmanuel's not good enough because he's not number one in video games. Come on, man. He's in the real NBA and he plays 2K. Give him a little allowances. He's in the top 10. That's really good. Really, really good. Tom's saying you get a cookie too. And David's saying, I like cookies. I'm so happy Lex is back. I'm glad to be back on the regular schedule and back here in Canada and doing the stream normal again instead of the little check-ins. They were fun and they were weird. I got some good subscriptions while I was over there. I guess I was exposed to a European crowd and I had more people join that were Raptors fans from Europe. So there was a little bit of that bump that happened during there. So we'll see. My goal is to try and get to 900 before the season starts. If I can get to 900 subscriptions before the season starts, I'll be happy. We'll see. I got 19 to get. I think the Team Canada stuff is going to help me get more subs this summer. When I do the watch-alongs with Team Canada and the excitement around Team Canada at Paris Olympics is going to help bump my number. Watch. Because I got a bump last year doing the FIBA World Cup. So let's see. Tommy's got me on blast. I love it. Tom's saying, how's this training going with the squirrels? This is amazing. Actually, I have a really interesting story to tell you guys. And y'all may think I'm crazy, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm trying to make connections with nature here. And I did something before I left to go to Estonia to ingratiate myself to the squirrels and the chipmunks. I brought cashews out to them and I gave them to them and I talked to them. And I told y'all I've been talking to them. And you even saw me talk to them on one of the streams the other day when one of them was chatting at me. I told him to chill out and he shut up. Well, when we came back from Estonia, nobody was here. And the chipmunks saw me and they freaked out. They started going doing their warning noise. And I turned to the chipmunk and I saw him in the tree out in the front yard on the trunk. And I went, I talked to him in his language. And you know what the chipmunk did? This is so weird, y'all. And animals are animals. Let's just put it that way. The chipmunk recognized me because I spoke to him and said, oh, this is the guy from 2 weeks ago that gave us the cashews. He's smart. He understood that I was the same human being. And he wasn't upset anymore. Like the warning noise stopped and he immediately jumped off the tree, ran on the ground towards me and ran around in circles like he was a dog, happy to see the owner come home. I'm serious. You know how a dog is when you leave, especially Tom knows, being a very loving dog owner. When you're away from your dog and you come home, your dog gets real excited and runs around in circles and like chasing its tail. Well, that chipmunk did that to me yesterday when I was out in the yard and it realized I was back from my vacation. So weird. I had another story about the chipmunk after that, but I don't feel like telling it. It's crazy. But isn't that weird, Tom? That the chipmunk recognized me, first of all, because I spoke to it. He stopped yelling at me to like warning. And then when he saw me, he saw it was me. He was overjoyed to see me. It's very strange. Very, very strange. I'm going to have them eating out of my hand at some point. Y'all are going to see me on the stream and I'm going to be holding the nuts in my hand and there will be a chipmunk in my hand eating. And you'll see it on the stream. I'm telling you, you watch me long enough, that's going to happen in the next couple of years. Seriously, I'm a Dr. Doolittle this shit. I'm going to be having these animals connected and it won't just be, oh, Justin. It'll be a real animal on the show. Yeah, Justin, you'll be on the show. You're a real animal too. But we're going to have other friends that are going to show up on the show too. Yeah. And you may think I'm crazy, but I swear that chipmunk ran around like a dog would. when it realized I was back. All right, buddy, I love you. You're my son. All right, go back to sleep. All right, I'm sorry I woke you up. All right, good night, man. Good night. All right, yeah, he's glad I'm back, but it's he enjoyed being here by himself, honestly. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. David's saying at Mo, what time would you like people to arrive on the 8th? Close to 4. Yeah. Just so y'all know, once again, we are going to have a party next Saturday, not tomorrow, but a week from the tomorrow. It's going to be a Saturday Share the Love Club in person for Monique Lawrence on her birthday party at the NBA restaurant on Queens Quay. The first ever NBA themed restaurant in the NBA is in Toronto, and it's on the Queens Quay down by the lake. It's a beautiful theme restaurant for the NBA, and it's the perfect setting for us to all convene and come down there next Saturday, June the 8th at 4 p.m. I will be there. David will be there. Monique will be there. Adriana is probably going to be there. I think even my parents might come down and be a part of the festivities. So come on down for the Superfan, Monique Lawrence's birthday. We're going to be celebrating her birthday. Bring a gift if you can for Monique and just come down and hang out. It's a Raptor Freak official hangout. We'll have some food. We'll eat and drink and be merry. And we'll celebrate the fantastic, passionate super fan, Monique Lawrence, #1 fan of the Toronto Raptors. So, yeah, 4 p.m., June the 8th, the NBA restaurant downtown. And even if you don't talk to us on this stream regularly, if you just want to show up, you can ask other people that have come down to it without being a known person in our stream. You just say, hey, I watched your stream and I like your stuff and I just want to come down and hang out with you guys. You're more than welcome to. You do not have to be a regular like everybody who talks to me every day or even a member of the channel. If you just want to come down and hang out with us and say, hey, Raptors Freak, I watch your show sometimes and I wanted to come and meet you and Monique, we'd be proud and so happy to have you come down. So, David, 4 p.m. And I know you could probably walk to the venue from your apartment not far from the Skydome. So, yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. And I'm excited about being there. David's saying, okay, Mo, I sounds good. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, we're going to finally do that birthday party we've been talking about. David's saying, that's so awesome. Great story, Lex. Thanks for sharing. No. What's the other story? This is incredible. All right. You really want to hear the other chipmunk story? All right. It has to do with my jet lag. Now, I really struggle with jet lag on the trip back. If you saw my streams around when I was leaving, I was grouchy the next day because I didn't get no sleep. The night before we left Estonia, Adriana and I could not sleep at all. We were up till 3 a.m. and we did not get any sleep. When we flew all the way over, I slept maybe a half hour on the plane. And then I had to drive from Pearson all the way back to drop Adriana off at her house and then come all the way out here to the country. And by the time I got here, it was around midnight and I was really tired. Well, my dad, he's an early riser and he woke me up without getting any sleep. And I was really mad because I had asked him to let me sleep in because I had not had any sleep. So I was really mad. So I was out in the yard sleeping because they were in the house being noisy. My parents, because they had to get up and do stuff. And I was like, I just want to sleep. So I went out into the yard and laid down on the grass and was trying to sleep in the grass in the sunshine. It was really nice. It felt so good. It was comfortable. In fact, I say to people, go sleep in the grass sometime. It's really very nice. Like, forget about touching grass. Sleep on the grass because you get like a connection to the earth and like the plants and stuff. And it's like kind of, I think it's good and humbling for people to sleep on the ground sometimes. You know, homeless people do it all the time. In some ways, they're more real and grounded, literally, because they sleep on the ground. And we all sleep on beds all the time. We lose a connection to the Mother Earth and the world we live in. I know that's another tangent. But anyway, I'm in the yard sleeping in the grass. And the squirrel or the chipmunk sees me on the ground. He thinks I'm in trouble. He starts making the warning noise again because he's worried about my well-being. He's like, and I said, no. I put my head up and I looked over towards him and I went and told him I was okay. And he chilled. But he was concerned that I was not in a good place because it looked weird to see a human laying on the ground prone like that. The other thing I heard at the same time was the ravens. The ravens out here saw me on the ground and they were kind of thinking maybe we got lunch later. So they were ravens and they're kind of calling to each other, caw, 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 and they're like far away and they do this whole thing. They're very smart animals and they communicate. And I think that they were trying to say, hey, I got something over here that's kind of interesting. There's a human on the ground and he's just laying there. So I kind of heard them doing this. And I think they were starting to talk about, like, from each other, there's something over here. You guys may need want to come over here later because there may be dinner. But I started moving my arms, and then the Ravens realized I wasn't dead, so they stopped talking about me and they went away. So I don't know. I'm just very observant, and I'm interacting with nature out here, and it's weird. I feel like the chipmunk was looking out for me, and in some ways, they know if they laid out in the yard like I did, the raven would come and eat it. So I think the chipmunk was yelling, "Get up, get up! The ravens will come and get you if you don't get up." And I was fine, but it was funny. That's the story right there. Maybe that's too crazy. I don't know. I don't want to lose subscribers because I'm talking my chipmunk stories here. Come on now. Oh man. Oh, it's so crazy. Yeah, yeah. All right. Tom's saying so cool. Right on. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I swear I saw the chipmunk run around like a dog would. Seriously. You know how dogs get all excited when you come home? The chipmunk did that to me. It's very strange. It's maybe because I'm feeding him. Yeah. David's saying you can get them to eat peanuts off your head. Yeah, I'm gonna do that at some point. There will be me feeding small animals on this channel, and you want to tune in for that. I may get a whole subsection of new viewers just that want to watch me feed animals at some point. Yeah, Fiercey's all about it. She's all about it. She's got me there, and Fiercey's saying Lex will create a second YouTube channel, Squirrel Freaks. Nah, I mean, I was talking about this with my dad yesterday because we have all kinds of cool projects we're doing right now. And I was saying, we could do a do-it-yourself YouTube channel of us, just our projects out here and how we're working on stuff. And I had a name for it even. I was like DIY OTS, DIY OTS. And it would be like father and son doing jobs and weird stuff. But I don't think it would be that interesting. And honestly, to do another channel is a lot of work. And I don't want to dilute the amount of work I put for this channel by having another channel I have to try and keep up also. So if there's going to be any kind of like animal or gardening content that I do on YouTube, it's going to be on this channel. And it'll be just me talking about it maybe, or maybe I'll be in the yard at some point filming out in the yard, showing you something that I've been doing, stuff like that. We'll have to see. There's going to be a lot of evolving with this channel once again. Now that I'm at the new place, and there's all kinds of weird possibilities for out here. And the new studio is going to be very interesting. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of going around with the idea of getting a green screen and using it for what I'm going to use in the future. So we're always improving things here. Trust me, we're always improving things here. Yeah, David thinks it's cute, the chipmunk stories. And he's saying that would be so awesome if your parents came. I'd love to meet them. Yeah, it's likely they'll probably come to the birthday party. Either way, I'd like you to meet them at some point during the month of June while they're still here for this time, because they're going to go back to Atlanta in July, and then they won't be back until the fall or something like that. So yeah, I'd love for you to come out and meet them, or meet them at the birthday party for Mo's birthday party too, for sure. Because definitely you guys can talk bridge. Definitely you guys can talk bridge. My mom loves talking bridge and loves playing bridge. She's played bridge so much. Tom's saying, I have a relationship with a few crows around my house, not by choice, but animals rule. Crows are so smart, but mischievous. I got nailed in the head 2 days ago by a swooping crow. That's crazy. And that's hilarious. That is hilarious. So yeah, Tom, I really think that there's more connection to the animal world that we need to get in touch with. The other thing I was talking about yesterday with my dad is mycelium. It's in the ground. It's fungi. And it's something that's really, we don't understand very well. There's so many different kinds of mushrooms and of fungus and mycelium out there. And there's all kinds of a realm that we could discover things about. Antibiotics come from this. And there's some real magic and some real interesting innovations and discoveries that can still be made just through fungus and mycelium. And there's some really interesting mycelium on this property here, I can tell, because we're getting very weird fungal like mushrooms in different places. So there's a lot of interesting things about nature that I'm very interested in. I believe that trees talk and are more intelligent than we give them credit. We just don't understand the world. And I also really believe that whales are very much more important on this planet than we are. And that, in some ways, humans think we're so egotistical and we're so important because we can talk and we can have TV and we can have fantasy leagues and YouTube channels and drive cars and stuff. It's just our egos that tell us that we're the most important thing on this planet. We really aren't. In some ways, I would make the argument that maybe the mycelium and the mushrooms and that, or the trees or the whales are more important than we are on this planet. And that it's just our own egos that tell us this, and our ability to go and destroy everything. Anyway, all right, let me keep going. Monique is saying, I got closer to Shere Khan through Raptors Tonight. That's sad. Yeah, I don't know who did it, but I went to check the block list and Shere Khan was on it. And I'm like, this is not right. And I unblocked like 3 people. I unblocked Milbester yesterday too. So if Milbester wants to come back, he's welcome to. The Knicks are out. He can't gloat to me at this point. So I unblocked some people that shouldn't have been blocked on the blocked list. So if I give you guys wrenches back, I just want you guys to be really, really careful with your clicks. You cannot be blocking people by accident, because I don't want to lose good people because of that. Fiercely saying, Tom, I read crows symbolize change. Good sign. Yeah, there's all kinds of animals that are talismans and kind of stand for things in the history of things. And it's kind of interesting. Like rabbits have a symbol of something. I'm seeing rabbits like crazy. There was a rabbit out in the yard just a little bit ago, just sitting there staring at me. They really are like, they love our yard because we've kept it very natural, and they just sit out there and munch the yard. It's kind of cool having so many rabbits and chipmunks and animals around the yard. It's really crazy. Monique saying, booking my rides tomorrow for next Saturday. W Streamlex, keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor free crew, strong. That's right, Monique. And thank God, it seems like the TTC will not be going on strike. I saw your message when I got back about how you're worried that the TTC may go on strike in the next week, and it may make it harder for you to get to your birthday party on Saturday. Well, hopefully everything will go smoothly and we won't have that concern, and we can just have the party at the NBA restaurant for sure. Tom's saying, I like that, Fiercey. Have a best day, Rat Freak family. Back at you, Tommy and David. And David's saying, I have a book on mushrooms on Ontario and Eastern Canada. I'll bring it to you on the 8th. Cool. That's very cool. I'm very interested in that subject. There's been some very weird mushrooms I've never seen in my life popping up out of the ground recently. There was one that looked like a brain. It was like about this big. It's really weird, really weird. And we've had vampire mushrooms here. They're like, they look really weird, man. Really, really weird. David's saying some are easy to identify and so good. Other oyster mushrooms and chicken of the woods. Yeah, I'm gonna have to show you. I know the brain one was very poisonous, and I'm pretty sure the parasite vampire mushrooms are not good to eat either. They don't look very delicious. Let's just put it that way. Trevor's saying, in 2 weeks, me and my family are going on vacation to England, to Paris, and to Spain and Italy for 2 weeks. Wow, Trevor, you just jet set, man. You really do live that Ric Flair styling, profiling, jet flying, styling and profiling lifestyle. Oh my gosh, this guy is doing it right. Commissioner J. There you go. I love to see it. All right, guys, let me get out of here. There's no birthday today, unfortunately, guys. Tomorrow will be June the 1st, and we're going to do the Saturday Share the Love Club for Oshai Abaji. So be ready for that. Once again, Emmanuel Quickley is playing in a big NBA2k matchup this weekend against Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets and Jacob Toppin of the New York Knicks. It's the We the North crew versus the East Side Allegations. And that's going to be on Twitch, broadcast on Saturday. So mark your calendar if you want to watch Emmanuel kick somebody's butt on the video game 2K20 NBA 2K. So just a heads up. And he's very good, apparently. Very, very good. Mo's saying, you'll meet my entire family. You'll enjoy my brother. Awesome. Mo's going to be there with her whole family, of course. And she has friends also coming down. So it is a real birthday party. So she's going to have all her regular birthday party people there, along with the Rapper Freak family. And I'm really excited about going back to the NBA restaurant and seeing it again. Last time we were there, we were not there for very long. And this time, I want to go down there and have a nice visit this time and really try the food and see what it's all about this time in a proper visit. And I apologize to Tom for any chafing or miscommunication or conflict that him and I had when we went there. It was just a bad situation. It was just like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. I was Larry David, and the guy in the green shirt was the person that I had to have a problem with. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Tommy's laughing. Stop. It was just such a crazy moment. Seriously, Tommy is a very considerate person. He's absolutely one of the best people I've ever met as far as like just caring about people. And he didn't like the way I treated the server. And he thought I was one of those people that was like, oh, you're bad to servers. I'm like, I'm not bad to servers normally. I'm only bad to servers wearing a Celtics shirt. That's the only time. I'm sorry, Tom. I don't want to give you the impression that I'm bullying and berating servers around the world. It was just that particular one for that very particular reason that we were going to play Boston in the in-season tournament that day. And this guy is our server at the table. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Tommy's saying, you just didn't know I wanted to whip his ass myself. It's just, listen, I can deal with him wearing the Boston green, but he came over and he saw our Raptor stuff and he started talking trash before he took our order. Yeah, the Celtics are going to kick the Raptors' ass today. And saying all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, we don't need, do you want a tip? Like, seriously, what is this? This is not like come to the restaurant and have the opposing team's fans berate you while you put your order in. So you want to know why I was going to cuss that man out? Because he was gloating that he thought the Celtics were going to beat us later that day. We'll be right before we're going to that game. And that's why I want to slap him. That's why I was like, oh my gosh. And Isaac's sitting there. He's like, he's just smiling. Isaac's just sitting there smiling. And he's just like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And he got to see Lex in public in one of these kind of moments. And Tom was just uncomfortable. He didn't want any conflict. And of course, David and Peter were perfect in this situation because they didn't even show up and they gave us a reason to leave. And David's like, oh, we're not coming all the way over there. We're just going to be at the Real Sports and we'll be here. So we were like, okay, well, if David's not coming here, let's not order. Let's leave. And we'll go to Real Sports and eat with him and Morgan and Peter at the Real Sports instead. So it all worked out well in the end. It's just, it was uncomfortable. And I did tell that guy, I was like, you go on. We don't need you. I said that to him. I said, you go on. We don't need you. You just get the hell out of here. Tom's got the butthole face. We'll end it on that. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back tomorrow with the Saturday Share the Love Club. It's good stuff. Fiercely saying, if we knew you were a diehard Raptors fan, he might have not said anything. Some people don't have tact. They don't mean to be harmful. No, I think this dude was a full-on Celtics fan. He knew exactly what he was doing. And in some ways, I am mad at the NBA restaurant for hiring a Celtics fan to be in there. And probably he does this to everybody who comes in there wearing Raptor stuff. So it's like, what? You have an NBA restaurant with a Celtics server in Toronto, and he berates Raptors fans when they come into the NBA themed restaurant? What is that? That's not a good business model, NBA. Seriously. If you still have that guy there and we show up there next Saturday, I'm going to cuss him out, just so you know. So, yeah, if we see that green shirt guy, yeah, that may be the reason to come to this Raptor Freak meet and greet just for that. Just come down and see if David and Lex are going to be cussing out green shirt Celtics fan as he's taking their order. I mean, that's high drama. That may be just enough entertainment to get a bunch of people to come down there right there just for that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying, oops, then. Yeah, he was really not shy about it. He went right into it right away. We hadn't even given him a drink order. He's like, oh, how do you guys feel about tonight? I think y'all are going to lose. He's saying shit like that. I'm like, I want to get up and bitch slap you. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny. Fiercely saying, killing my appetite real quick. Didn't even get a chance to even get a drink order in. I don't even think he brought water to the table. It was that quick. David saying, Celtics fans shouldn't be allowed in the city, let alone working in that restaurant. Well, we do have Celtics fans in Toronto, and they do live among us. But, yeah, I agree. They shouldn't be working in that restaurant in particular. Tom saying, yeah, he was a dick. Huge day for Raptors, and he was wearing green and smack talking. It was the day, the first in-season tournament game, and we were going to history, and we were there to root on the Raptors. Tom had came all the way from British Columbia, and we wanted to check out the NBA restaurant before the in-season tournament, and we had a horrible experience. So if NBA, you want to hear this, you hear me. Hear my feedback card. And I don't even need to put it in the little box. You can just watch me on YouTube and get it. All right, y'all. Let's go, Thunder Dan Marley, with your Thunderwear. And Amit, I'll give you your 100 points. All right, thanks, everybody, watching me. Tomorrow, 9:30 a.m., I'll be back. Let's go, Raptors. Fuck the Celtics.